I'm concerned for Deshaun Watson. Should I be for his safety?
Yeah, you should, Dan. When I always tell people they always talk about quarterback, wide receiver, the mesh that you need and the continuity you need, but there's no more important continuity in sports, not pitcher, catcher, quarterback, wide receiver than those five guys up front. And adding Tunsil's big, but you can tell with a week how much a week to prepare is all. And, Dan, the communication, it's the line stunts, and it's, okay, you got that guy, I got that guy. And eventually you're going to see Titus Howard and Max Sharping, two rookies, play. And then you're going to have to move Howard, who is normal positions, an outside left tackle. They're trying to play him a guard, possibly to the other side and the right side. So it's going to be interchanging a lot. You can't take that many hits, Dan. Sacks are one thing, but the constant hits after the throw, and the guy's got guts. Watson's going to hang in there, but it doesn't matter who it is. Eventually, like a quarterback's arm only has so many throws, so many hits. This guy's got DNA that says championship, MVP, but the availability of him, if this keeps up, it's not going to last because you can't continue to ask him to do this. And during the season, Dan, it's so tough to get guys up to date because you're putting game plans in. So mechanics and work and the communication. The best lines we have are the lines that have been together a while. It's going to take a bit. Deshaun Watson better have a suit of armor this year because he is going to take his hits, as you saw on Monday night.
And he holds on to the ball a little too long. And this is something that young quarterbacks learn. You certainly learned it. You just, you take your loss. It's a small loss, and that is I threw it away. And then you come back for another play instead of holding on to it. And that's another thing that stood out. Also, J.J. Watt. I can't remember watching a game where J.J. Watt was non-threatening.
Agreed.
What's going on?
Well, I think, and real quick on the Watson thing, Dan, you make a great point. I've said on my show and long said for the last couple of years that it's that hero syndrome for a great quarterback. You don't want to take that guts away, but sometimes the best play on the field is to throw it to your mom or your dad in the stands and then tee it up to live another down, because I love the fact that he wants to make every play, but watch the great ones. They hit singles, and if the singles aren't there, throw it away, get me 7 yards on second down. And now, I remember one time I held the ball too long. It was like 3rd and 14, and Brian Billick in Minnesota pointed at me. And I thought, well, what's the next play? And he pointed at me again, meaning, you got this call, dude. I ain't got anything in my playbook for 3rd and 14, so you don't want to do that. So that's the only weakness he has. And Dan, with Watt, while I know people complained about Clowney in Houston, he was still a presence, a dominant run presence. And while J.J., every time we question him, he steps his game up. But, Dan, the only time they called his name was in pregame warm-up. I mean, when we talked about
introduced
the lineup,
him,
that doesn't happen. So I would expect him to come out a little angry against Gardner Minshew and Jacksonville, but you step older, more surgeries, and you may not have to double him as much as you used to. And they don't have, unless Merciless steps his game up, the other presence to say, okay, stop that guy, and then J.J. can be free. It's going to be difficult. You probably won't see that stat line again from him, but I'm not sure he's the Khalil Mack, Von Miller guys. But when you do question him, he finds a way to step his game up. They're going to need him because that defense was putrid on Monday night.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.